And even if we see the technology of the 18th century battles between Europe and Asia, we don't see that the Europeans had arrived the battlefield with better technology. The three gunpowder dynasties known in the world are the Ottomans, who took over the Caliphate of Muslims in 1398. They are known as the Gunpowder Dynasty. The Safavid of Iran are also known the Gunpowder Dynasty, and they took over Iran in 1500, and they established the Shiite Caliphate of Muslim Empire in Iran. And then the Mughal, who took over India in 1526 and had been ruling Central Asia, Afghanistan in the 16th century, and established the reigns of Mughal dynasty in India in year 1526. So these are the three gunpowder dynasties, and all three of them are the eastern ones, never to mention about any of the dynasties in Europe by then. And there were not European tanks by then, the days we are talking about. There were no European jet fighters by then, the days we are talking about. When the Europeans came to India, they didn't have any of the greatest technologies with them. If we talk about the artilleries, the Mughal artillery was far greater than that of the Europeans. The Mughal military equipments were far greater than those of the Europeans. In fact, it was a declining empire in the 18th century, or should I say in the later half of the 18th century. After 1757, the Mughal Empire had become a declining dynasty, a declining empire, and that's why they got a defeat in 1757, Battle of Plassey, 1764, Battle of Buxar. And yes, earlier in 1739, when Muhammad Shah, Emperor Muhammad Shah of the Mughal dynasty, could not defend his country against Nadir Shah of Persia, Nadir Shah of Iran, and Nadir Shah plundered the riches of India and took the wealth of India along with him. He also took the peacock throne of India, and he also took the Kohinoor diamond with him. So those were the greatest of the plunders made by Nadir Shah of Safavid Empire, and it happened in 1739. And the story continued. They were going along with great success, and it didn't really mean that the Europeans by then had accumulated any of the technology or developed any of the technology to wage wars against the Easterns. As the empire was a declining empire in the later half of the 18th century, there were various reasons for the fall of Mughal dynasty by then. And yes, the Mughal dynasty fell and the British took over. And even if we talk about the other nations, such as we talk about the Dutch nation, we talk about the Portuguese, we talk about the French nation, they had their influence in parts of Asia, in Eastern Empire, and they started invading eastern parts of the empire. But there was no great accumulation of the technology on the part of the European nations. As far as technology in those days was concerned, it was far better with the Mughals compared to any of the invaders in those days, and so it goes along.